Okay, so now it's time to talk about what perfective verbs mean. We've already talked about imperfective. They focus on a duration or a repeated action, or just naming an action in general. So what do perfective verbs focus on? So far the verbs that we've learned have been imperfective, so this does mean that coming down the road we're going to have to learn the pairs that go with those imperfective verbs. But not right now. Right now we just want to recognize the context and know when to use which type. We'll focus on how to form each type in the next section, 6.2. So let's talk about the past tense and perfective verbs. So we're going to use a perfective verb in the past tense if we're talking about a completed one-time action. So something that happened once and it's done. It's not still going, it's done. For example, Вчера я написала сочинение. Yesterday, I wrote and completed my essay. So here's a reason why we avoid one-to-one translation. In English, you would need more than one verb to express this perfective meaning. Yesterday, I wrote and finished my essay. So not just I was writing it, but I finished writing it. So a completed action in the past tense. I'm also going to use perfective for a sequence of completed and consecutive actions. So something that one action has to be finished before the next one can begin. For example, talking about that essay that we finished writing, maybe we want to go into a little more detail about it. So we can say, Сначала я прочитала книгу, потом я написала сочинение. So we're talking about the process. First, we read a book and we finished reading the book. We прочитала, finished it all the way. And then we wrote the essay, and we finished writing the essay. So both of these actions are completed. They're done, and both of them happened once. I just read the book once, and I just wrote the essay once. I didn't do it over and over again, just once. One completed action in a series, a sequence of actions. First, read the book all the way through, then wrote the paper all the way through. And then our last instance for using a perfective verb in the past tense is when we have an expected outcome. For example, let's say your teacher gave you the assignment of writing an essay. When you come into class, maybe your teacher will say to you, Вы написали сочинение? Have you finished writing your essay? So again, she's asking about, have you finished? Is that result, is that outcome complete or not complete? So based on these examples, I hope you can see that perfective verbs, you really are focusing on the results, on the finished, completed process, on the outcome. So we only use perfective verbs when we have completed that process. The action is done in the past tense. So now that we know this, can we use perfective verbs in the present tense? If you watched the previous video, you know that no, we cannot ever, never, ever use perfective verbs in the present tense. But let's think a little bit about why. So we said we use perfective verbs in the past tense for a completed one-time action, for a sequence of completed and consecutive actions, or for an expected outcome. We're talking about something in the present tense. Is that action finished? Can it be finished? If I'm talking about what I'm doing right now, is that action over with and done? Is there an outcome? No, of course not. It's still going on right now. So this is why we don't use perfective in the present tense. We can only use it in the past or the future. We'll deal with the future later. For now, we're going to focus on the past tense. Good news is, as you might have seen from these examples, forming the past tense of perfective verbs is the same as for imperfective verbs. So you don't need to learn any new endings or anything like that. But let's look at some more examples of context to make sure that we've really got when we're going to be using perfective verbs in the past tense. So, Сегодня утром я быстро оделась, почистила зубы и пошла в университет. So, what type of situation do we have here? Why are we using perfective verbs? So as you can see, we have a sequence, a series of verbs. First, I quickly got dressed, then I brushed my teeth, and then I went to university. I wasn't brushing my teeth as I was walking. Like, that action was done. By the time I left and I was walking to university, I was dressed, my teeth were clean, and I was on my way. So 3 completed actions in a series, in a sequence. How about this one? Вчера вечером Рима приготовила суп. So So we're talking about, in this instance, we're talking about a completed one-time action. We've got a specific time expression. Вчера вечером, yesterday evening. So presumably around dinner time. Rima made and finished making soup. And probably we ate it for dinner. So this is focusing on the completed action in the past tense. Okay, one more example. Я не прочитала Анну Каренину, the book. Я еще читаю. So here we can see a difference between perfective and imperfective. Here we've got a perfective verb, я не прочитала Анну Каренину. So I haven't finished reading Anna Karenina, я еще читаю. I'm still reading it. So I'm still in the process of reading it. I have not completed the action. Я не прочитала. I have not completed this action. I'm still in the process of it. So just to kind of sum up, we use perfective verbs to express in the past tense a completed one-time action. We use it to express a sequence of completed and consecutive actions, and we use it to express an action with an expected outcome. So I hope that this has helped, and in the future we will talk about how to form these pairs and how to recognize perfective and imperfective verbs from their form. So if you still have some trouble with the meaning of the context, there are also some clues that we'll find out from the form of the verbs, but we'll get to that later.